Hey everyone, in today's video, I'm going to show you 30 awesome PowerPoint tips and tricks. My name is Talha and this channel is all about showing you how to become a highly paid IT pro fast. So trick number 1. To add a new slide, you can press Ctrl M, and when we press Ctrl M, a new slide will be inserted. You can see that by pressing Ctrl M, we have added a new slide. Trick number 2. To open Zoom dialog, you can press Alt and W. When you press Alt W, you will see that the highlighted key characters are there on the top ribbon. Now you can press any of the specific key to perform the desired action. For example, if I want to press Q, what would happen? You can see that it would give me an option to zoom. I can zoom 400%, 200%, 100%, and 66, 50, and 33%. I can also select it manually from here, and whatever percentage I want, I can select it. So currently we have 75%. If I press OK, you can see that it has zoomed in like 75%. Similarly, you can perform all these functions with just pressing of a key. Trick number 3. You can duplicate the current slide by pressing Ctrl plus D. This shortcut key will help to make a copy of the current slide and add a new slide with the same context. So for example, if I press Ctrl D, here you can see that we have created a copy of the current slide. Tip number 4. You can display the font dialog box and actually manipulate the fonts. All you have to do is that you have to press Ctrl T, or you can also press Ctrl Shift F. Both of them would perform the same functionality. Now here, you can actually change the text font. Okay, you can change it to the heading or the body or agency FB and so on and so forth. I would click on heading, and here you can change the font style. It could be bold, italic, regular, and you can also change the offset. Press OK. So now you can see that this font type is now a heading font type. If you want to change all the fonts in the line, then press Ctrl T again, and from here you can select the type, which is heading, and from here you can select the italic. You can change the size from here, okay, up to 25, or maybe if you want to increase it to 30, let's say, you can do so. Click OK, and here you can see that the style of the font has been changed successfully. Tip number 5. If you want to see all your slides in front of you, all you have to do is that you have to go to View and then click on the slide sorter. So when you click on that, you'll be able to see all your slides in front of you. Right now, we only have 3 slides, but when you have 10 slides, you'll be able to see all of them right in front of you at once, and it would be easy for you to access whichever slide you want to access. Reaching every slide in the slide sorter is easier than you think. So whatever slide I want to reach, for example, if I want to reach the 3rd slide, I just have to double click and it would open up that specific slide. Tip number 6. If you want to delete one word from the left side, what you have to do is that wherever your cursor is, if you press Ctrl backspace, it would delete one word from the left side. If you want to delete one word from the right side, what you have to do is that you have to press Ctrl plus delete button. And now you can see that it has deleted one word from the right side. If I do that again, Ctrl backspace, you can see that it has deleted a word from the left side, and if I press Ctrl delete, it has deleted a word from the right side. Tip number 7. This tip is about redoing. So for example, if you have deleted all the lines or all the words in this line, you can get it back by pressing Ctrl Z. Okay? If I press Ctrl Z one by one, I will get all 4 words back. But if I want to delete them back and I don't want it and I have accidentally recovered all of them, what I can do is that I can press Ctrl Y and then I can start deleting them one by one. Tip number 8. You can expand and collapse this ribbon right here by using a shortcut, and that is Ctrl plus F1. If I press Ctrl plus F1, you can see that the above ribbon has been gone. If I press Ctrl F1 again, it would come back. Tip number 9. In this tip, I'm going to show you how to navigate Toolbar options. If you press F10, it would display ribbon key tips letter. You can see that all of the letters have been highlighted, and you can see. If you want to go to File, you have to press F. If you want to go to Home, you'll press H. You'll press N if you want to go to Insert. You'll press G if you want to go to Design. So let's say if I want to go to Design, I'll press G. And here you can see that now I am in the design and I can select any of the slide design that I want. If you press Alt F, it would take you here. And from here, you can see that you have all the options. If you press I, it would take you to the info. If you press S, it would save the file. If you press A, it would save the file as. It would open up the dialog where you can name the file and you can change the location of it. You can close it by pressing C. If you are in any other tab and if you don't want to press F10 and you want to go directly into the Home tab, you can press Alt H and it would take you to the Home tab, and from here you can perform different actions by pressing the respective letters. If you want to go to the Design tab directly, you can also press Alt G and it would take you to the Design tab. If you want to go to the Animation tab, what you have to do is that you have to press Alt A. Tip number 10. You can spell check on a specific word or on a specific line in PowerPoint. All you have to do is that you have to select the word where you want to check the spelling, and then you would press F7. When you press F7, it would check the spellings and it would give you suggestions. And here you can see that I have multiple suggestions from holo, hello, and hellos, etc. I can ignore it if I want, or I can press the right one, I can click on change, and it would actually change that word for me. It would correct it. If you select all this line, we know that it does not include any of the spelling errors. So if I press F7, you can see that it would give you something like this, which says no suggestions because it does not have any spelling errors. Tip number 11. If you want to change the case of a word, you can do that. So for example, here we have hello. So if I want to change the case of it, I can do so, and right now it's all lowercase. What I will do, I will press Shift F3 and it would change the case of the first letter, and it has changed it from the lowercase to uppercase. If I press Shift F3 one more time, you can see that it would change it to all capital. If I press it one more time, it would change it to all lowercase. I can keep on pressing Shift F3 and I can keep on changing the lowercase to uppercase and to all uppercase and to all lowercase as well. Tip number 12. If you're presenting your slides like this in front of an audience, you can basically change it to black by pressing B, and then you can make any changes you want. In the meantime, your audience will see this black screen on the projector. And in case you want to come back, you press B and it would be back. Similarly, you can make the screen white by pressing W. And now you can see that everything is gone and the screen is white. That's what your audience will see, and in the meantime, you can make changes you want. In order to come back from the white screen, you have to press W and it would be back. Tip number 13. If you want to switch between normal and outline, you can switch, and you can do so by pressing Ctrl plus Shift plus Tab. And here you can see that you can see the outline of each slide. And if I press Ctrl plus Shift plus Tab again, you can see that I'm back to the normal view where I can see each slide separately. Tip number 14. You can reduce the font size by pressing Ctrl, Shift, and the angle bracket or the sign of less than. So if I press Ctrl, Shift, less than, you can see that it is decreasing the font size. Tip number 15. Similarly, if I want to increase the font size, I can do so by pressing Ctrl, Shift, and the greater than sign. Here you can see that I can increase it to as much size as I want. Tip number 16. If you want to copy-paste shapes or pictures, you can do so by pressing Ctrl, Shift, and if you would drag, it would move this picture horizontally or vertically in an alignment fashion. So here you can see that when I press Ctrl, Shift, and when I drag these pictures, two lines are drawn here, which means that it's taken care of the alignment of those pictures, and those pictures won't be up and down, but in a complete symmetry. On the other hand, if I want to just copy the picture, I'd press Ctrl and then I would drag it. Okay? And here you can see that I can also copy it. Tip number 17. Laser pointer. During your presentation, you can enable laser using Ctrl plus L. When you press Ctrl L, you can see that your cursor has now become a laser, and you can point to anything that you want during your presentation so that your audience has a better and engaging experience. Tip number 18. If you want to change the cursor to a pen that would help you write additional notes on the screen, all you have to do is that you have to press Ctrl plus P. When you press Ctrl P, your cursor would become a pen. And with this pen, you can write here, okay? So if I write here like this, I'm drawing simple lines, but you can write anything that you want. Tip number 19. You can erase this with an eraser that you have written with a pen. So in order to do that, you have to press Ctrl E and your cursor would become a eraser. All you have to do is that you have to click here and on it, and this eraser would erase all the text that you have written with your pen. Tip number 20. By pressing Ctrl plus H, it would open up a dialog box. In this dialog box, you can replace any word present in the presentation with the new word. So for example, if I want to replace with our, and if I want to write here yours, then if I find it, I found it, and now if I replace it, you can see that we have successfully replaced the our with yours. Similarly, you can do it for all the words present in the same presentation, or you can do so for a single word. Tip number 21. Add hyperlink. To add a hyperlink in a presentation, you can press Ctrl plus K and it would take you to a dialog box like this. Here you have different options. You can link to existing file or web page. You can place in the document. You can create a new document, or you can also link to an email address. So here you can see that if I click here, if I go to my desktop, here I have logo of Skills Build Training. Okay, if I click on this, if I hit OK, you can see that I have hyperlinked this image file into my presentation. Tip number 22, grids or guides. If you want to align your items perfectly, such as images and text boxes, you can use guides or grids. If you press Shift plus F9, you can see that here you have a grid. If you want to disable it, you'll press Shift plus F9 once again, and you can see that it has gone. You can also enable guides by pressing Alt plus F9. So when I press Alt plus F9, here I have a guide which I can use to align the images and text on my slide perfectly because it has 4 quadrants, X and Y axis. If I want to hide this guide, all I have to do is I have to press Alt plus F9 one more time and it would be gone. Tip number 23. If you want to generate a QR code and if you want to place your slides there, you can also do that. All you have to do is that you have to go to the insert, and here you can see we have add-ins. Go to the store and here search for QR for Office. When you will search it, you will have an app like this. All you have to do is that you have to click Add and then click on Continue. You will get a menu on the right side that will ask you to enter URL or text you want to encode. So select according to your requirement, and you can also change its color and you can also change its size from here. So I will keep it like this, and here I can put in the link if I want to give, for example, if I want to give the link to the slides, I can put here the link, and when somebody would scan the QR, they'll be taken directly to the link where my slides are, and they can download it from there. So now if I press Insert, you can see that here I have my QR code. I can make it a little bigger if I want, and my audience, they can scan this QR code and they can get whatever link I have given here. Tip number 24. Here you can see that we have a list of 4 points. If I want to change the order of these lines, I can do so. For that, I would press Alt plus Shift plus up arrow to move this hello upwards, and you can see that previously hello was on number 4 and now it is on number 3. If I press Alt Shift and up arrow one more time, it would move it upwards and now it would become number 2. If I press one more time, it would become number 1. And similarly, if I press Alt Shift downward arrow, it would start to move it down. And I can do that with any of the line I want. I just have to select the line and then I press Alt and Shift and the arrow up or down where I want to move it. Tip number 25, Quick Access Toolbar. You can get quick access to the most repeated actions by adding them to the toolbar. So for example, if I want to open up a new document, a new file of the presentations, all I have to do is that again and again, I have to go to the file and then I have to click on the new. So instead, what I can do is that I can click here and I can click on new. And here you can see that this icon has appeared here, which is a shortcut, which means that now if I just click on that, it would quickly create a document. In the similar way, you can shortcut here anything that you want. Okay, you can shortcut open, you can shortcut email, you can shortcut print preview and print. You can shortcut more commands as well. You can also go here and click on more commands and you can select any of the command that you want and you can add it to the quick access toolbar. Tip number 26. You can create your instant photo album in presentation if you want. What you have to do is that in order to create a photo album, you will go to the Insert tab, and here you will select this photo album. You'll click on it, and then you will click on New Photo Album. Once you click on it, you have an option to browse pictures. So if I browse pictures, if I select these two, if I insert it, and if I create it, you can see that I have created a photo album where we have two pictures. Tip number 27. You can record screen in PowerPoint. You don't have to use an external software to record a screen and then import the video inside the PowerPoint. To record your screen on PowerPoint, you have to select the Insert tab, which is already selected here, and then you have to pick out the screen recording from the right corner here. Just click on the screen recording and you will get a menu, a small menu like this. So first of all, you have to click on the select area. So you select the area where you want to record. So for example, if I want to record all the screen, I just click on it and then I press this record button. When I press it, it would give me a dialog box with numbers, and in 3 seconds, it would start the recording. If I want to quit the recording, I can press Ctrl-Shift-Q, or I can move the cursor up here and I can press this button and it would quit the recording. And here you can see that it has imported the video in my presentation. From here, I can directly play a box with numbers, and in 3 seconds, it would start the recording. And here you can see that it has created the video without using any external software, and it has all been done within the PowerPoint. Tip number 28, comments. If I want to add comments into a slide, I can do so by pressing Alt+N, and it would give me all this menu. I have to press L, and you can see here I can add different kind of comments. I can say skills, build, training, main slide. If I hit enter, you can see that now I have successfully commented. Even if I close this, here you can see that I have an icon of comments on the top corner of my slide. If I click on it, I would be able to see my comment. You can reply to a comment, or you can add a new comment as well. Tip number 29, superscripts and subscripts. So for example, if you're writing mathematical equations or something like that, you can use superscripts and subscripts. So if I write here H2O, you know that this is the symbol of water. So if I want to superscript it, all I have to do is that I have to select it, and then I'm going to press Ctrl-Shift+, and you can see that I have superscripted it. If I want to subscript it, all I have to do is that I have to press Ctrl += and now I have subscripted. That way you can write complex mathematical equations with precision and ease. Tip number 30. So sometimes it happens that you have a file of presentation that has been made into another computer, and he or she might have used some fonts which are not available in the PowerPoint, and those are the embedded fonts from the outside. In order to allow and use those fonts, you have to go to File, go to Options, select Save, and then you can check this Embed Fonts in File. And here you can see that you have embed only the characters used in the presentation, or you can select embed all characters, best for editing by other people. Whatever option you want to select, and then click OK. And after that, you will be able to use the fonts which have been embedded by other people. Bonus tip: if you want to copy the existing texture or existing format of a text, of a line, you can do so. So for example, if I have here, this is a video, and if I select all that, if I press Ctrl B, if I press I, now it has been made bold and italic. So now I have to click on Format Painter, and now it has been activated. So if I select all that, and you can see that now it has also been changed to the characteristics of this line. So these were 30 awesome PowerPoint tips and tricks. Thanks for watching. Do not forget to subscribe to our channel to get the latest videos to help you advance your IT career.